A good day to everyone. I'm Rosel Arcaning PSN2, major in mathematics. Today, I will present to you the 10 scenic and most remarkable places visited by Dante and Alighieri. Our poet out Ovid's Ovid in the transformation of human souls to snakes and of snakes back into human souls. The trick these souls learn is to bite when there are snake. The soul of someone who looks like he has a body, they steal the body and the other person turns into a snake, at least until he bites someone else. Thus is the circus played out in center ring. Center of the 8 circles. An image in your head of what a demon looks like, with a tail and pitchfork. It's because of the way Dante grafted it here. This place is also the comic relief of hell. If you were not laughing when you saw brown nosers wallowing in excrement or fortune tellers with their heads turned backwards, you'll die laughing at watching human souls ripped to pieces by demons while trying to bribe their way out of boiling pitch. The Olympic Games. It's a celebration of the lack of what's that word again, fecundity. Any sterile action, sexual or otherwise, could cause someone to end up here. And many who might have ended up here will meet in purgatory and also in heaven. The reason is that at any given time, we can stop pursuing creation alone and start pursuing its creator. While the contestants are here, though, they are indeed making great progress running around in circles. This hell's capital city, replete with flaming Moscows in the time of our journey, the West look upon Islam as just another Christian heresy that might one day be stamped out like Arianism or Nestorianism. Muhammad the Prophet, whom you'll meet down in the 8th circle, they believe was just another schismatic who popularized the Christian Ebionite belief that Christ was the Messiah but was not divine. All the flaming Moscows represent the perversion of true faith, the city of man rather than the city of God. The zoo. As we pass through Upper Hell, be sure to make note of the living zoo of interesting creatures, oddities really who populate the place. The one interesting thing about all of these critters once you get past the gates of hell is that they all half human, half beast. They actually represent something, and that's the nature of the sinners they stand over. All of them have that one thing in common. The city nightlife. What happens in Circle 2 stays in Circle 2. Literally, it cannot get out. For this reason, it's definitely not the kind of hotspot you want to take a date out on. If you did, you lose interest in him or her real fast. If you're just looking for a good time, though, with no relationships and no commitments, this circle of hell was made just for you. Of course, aside from the intoxicants, there's nothing to eat here. You have to wait till the next circle for your first restaurants to stars only, though you can do better with the different trepas. Public transportation. The first thing to note in hell is the incredibly awesome public transportation system. To get from the 7th to the 8th circle, you want to take a helicopter down, like those that occasionally descend into the Grand Canyon. And to get from 8 to 9, you want to get a lift from an unbound giant. The fastest way to get to where you want to go, though, is a through something akin to the Star Trek transporter. Just present yourself to a receptionist named Minos and name your favorite scene. Isap you there in a few tail flicks. Heliotrope, a variety of chalcedony, was a gemstone much valued for its magical properties in ancient times, and one use was to protect from the venom of snake. As the gate to hell promised, there is no hope for the sinners to find such a talisman here and escape, even only temporarily, their punishment. After the Inferno, Dante finally reaches the mountainous landscape of Purgatory, leaving hell behind. The cone, according to Dante, formed when Lucifer, the fallen angel, fell to earth. The impact of the fall was so great that it even reshaped Earth's surface. Continents were uplifted on the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, lowered and was covered by the sea. Florence, this is the big one. Dante was born and grew up in Tuscan City, which later exiled him when his political rivals gained power. The writer had a love-hate relationship with his hometown, so much so that he liked to describe himself as a Florentine by birth but not in conduct. But hindsight a great thing, and the city that once threatened Dante with death if he dared to return later, decided it was actually quiet proud of him. The House of Dante is dedicated to the poet's life if you want to learn more, or you can look for the dozens of portraits, busts, and plaques in his honor which are dotted around the city.